We are joined now by our longtime News Channel 5 political analyst, Brian Crowley. Brian, speak to the political fallout and also to Peter Feynman, who believes, he said to me, that Republican voters, those who are part of Mr. Trump's base, will be energized and that this may actually help him. Talk about all of that.
Well, this is a Cat 5 political storm that hit Florida and the nation today, and this storm is going to go all the way through the 2024 election. It's going to have enormous impact on the people that are running against Donald Trump for the Republican nomination. And for Donald Trump right now, I think this will help him a lot among the people that support him. He's getting almost unanimous support from Republicans in Congress and from Republican leaders around the country. And, you know, Peter Feynman's view on this is interesting and held by many, many people. But let me note that nobody's seen the indictment yet. We don't know what the evidence is. We don't know what's involved here. So maybe people should calm down a little bit till we actually have the facts.
His chief opponent, at least if you believe early polling, Governor Ron DeSantis here in Florida, here in part is what he had to say in a tweet, Brian. The governor saying the weaponization of federal law enforcement represents a mortal threat to a free society. Governor DeSantis went on to say, we have for years witnessed an uneven application of the law, depending upon political affiliation. Why so zealous, he said, in pursuing Trump, yet so passive about Hillary Hunter? And then he talks about a DeSantis administration that would excise political bias and weaponization from the DOJ. Brian, is that emblematic of what we'll be hearing from Republicans trying to thread a needle, going after the DOJ while at the same time arguing that perhaps the party should move on from Donald Trump?
Yeah, it was a very wise tweet by the governor. He obviously sees Trump as his biggest opponent in the election ahead, but he also knows that he needs Trump supporters if he wants to get the nomination. So he catered to them by supporting Trump and opposing the indictment, but at the same time said the DeSantis administration will change things, basically vote for me.
In a polarized country, how much more polarized will we be by this? You heard Jared Moskowitz say we worry about significant repercussions from this. He mentioned to me that he is concerned about Republicans in the House who will go after President Biden, will go after the Attorney General Merrick Garland. Republicans, for their part, say, wait a minute. You're the ones going after a former president, pressing federal charges for the very first time. Talk about the dynamic. The fallout extends beyond this campaign, certainly beyond one person in the name of Donald J. Trump.
Well, Republicans have spent an enormous amount of time over the years investigating Hillary Clinton. They're spending a great deal of time investigating Hunter Biden and Joe Biden. If they have evidence to present to the Justice Department to build a case against Biden or Hillary Clinton, they should do it. And, you know, again, we shouldn't be questioning the indictment against Trump until we actually see it. It could be wrong. It could have bad evidence in it, but we don't know anything until we actually see the indictment and the evidence. And our political leaders should be patient enough with our judicial system to at least wait till the facts are known.
Your final cautionary note to partisans on all sides, Brian.
Well, I think we need leadership on both sides who are willing for now to sort of just tell everybody to be calm, that let's wait till we have the information. If the information doesn't hold up, then something should happen to the Justice Department to fix that problem. If the information is held up in court and President Trump is convicted, then that's the process we have. Our founding fathers expected former presidents to become little C citizens when they left the White House. There's nothing special about them.
Does this give opponents of the former president who are competing against him for the nomination the opening they hoped to have to make their case that we need to move on? Too early to tell there, I'm sure, but your first thoughts.
Yeah, I'm sure in private meetings that Ron DeSantis and the others who are running for the nomination are actually quite thrilled with this moment because they've been hoping that people will just get exhausted with Donald Trump, get exhausted with all the drama. There's potentially other indictments that he could face in other cases. And they're hoping that people will look at somebody like Ron DeSantis and say, he will do everything that Trump has promised and more, but without all this drama.
Brian Crowley, our News Channel 5 political analyst. Brian and I, as we often talk, would note that at least in very early polling, there is no sense of that exhaustion, but we're still in 2023, a long way to go. Again, arraignment expected next Tuesday in a federal courtroom in Miami. Brian, as always, thank you. Honey?